the big giant sumo, except this time he's fighting Superfly Jimmy Snuka, who just...
I love you.
It's a little baby Zeppelin.
It's a baby
Oh,
Zeppelin.
yeah, it's for babies.
I'm sitting there thinking a helium balloon of that size got the lifting power of about 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome back to Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever recorded. And today we're heading to the Lost City to fight for the Golden Dragon. Some may call it crazy. We call it The Quest.
Where's the city again?
Tibet, I think.
So it's a lot, but
But it's called the Lost City.
Lost City.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
It's a
don't know.
horrible name.
Where it really is
easy to
bad.
find.
It's hard to find on a map.
Apparently, lots of people can find
Yeah,
it.
everybody knows where it is.
You didn't even need the map to find it, apparently.
Yeah, and we're on a quest too. I feel like we're on a quest to do all of Jean Claude's movies eventually.
Wow.
This is what, number
Nice.
6, I feel like. I wouldn't even counted, but
Yeah, who knows?
it's been
Gotta
a
be
lot.
like at least like that.
We just did one Chuck Norris movie, and
Yep.
we're on like number 6 for Jean Claude Van Damme. So we got to catch up.
I was
with
on
the other
such a
guys.
high with this Jean Claude, and you had to mention this Norris guy. Come on, he's got to prove himself.
I know.
He's going to bust through that door right now.
I'm sure he will. Joining us today is Mr. Joe Gortowski. Joe, how are you today, sir?
Hey, James, how are you doing today?
I'm great, man. Anytime I get to talk about a Van Damme movie, I come in with a little pep in my step.
Yeah.
I was stretching out. I'm trying to do the splits in the hallway. I can't quite get there.
It just looked like he was standing.
You had
Yeah.
a sparkle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
But
is.
you had a little sparkle coming in. It was nice.
Yeah,
It's
man,
nice.
that's the VD effect.
Normally, you just come in here and
Whoa.
cuss us out.
My VD effect is totally different.
I meant Van Damme.
Oh,
No.
Right. Normally, I just come in, call you a bunch of bastards, and
Yeah, just cuss us out
right.
for being late or some stupid, like
Something.
I'm not sitting in the right spot,
Right.
just
yeah.
verbally abuse
Yeah,
us.
like you're not sitting in the right spot.
No, but today you could do.
this guy over here.
But today you could do
Bush
anything, and
Memorial
I won't
Seat.
even care. That's right. Speaking of Clint Bush is also here.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Clint.
Hi. How's it
How's-
going? What are we
dude.
doing? We're having a great time.
We're doing great.
I'm amped. I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
You ready to
notes
roll?
and everything.
Yep. I love this one. No notes. Come on, dude.
And today, playing the part of Bob Hauser, who wasn't able to make it this morning, is Ry Mueller in the house.
Hey, how's it
Hey.
going?
What's up, man?
I'm expecting this thing to be as epic as our Fortnite come from behind battle last night.
Yes, we are a bunch of
Oh, we just outed
40-plus
ourselves.
dorks who play Fortnite without Joe.
You guys
We
are
just-
a bunch of losers.
We just
playing
outed
Fortnite.
ourselves. We did have an insane
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts.
whole squad down. One of us down to 15 health. Wiped a squad, booted the whole team. Almost got killed again. Ryan with the save
That
at the
was
end.
that was Buffalo Bills coming back against the Houston Oilers right there.
That was Tom Brady 28-3 against the
That's
Falcons.
exactly what it was.
I can't believe you guys play Fortnite.
Yeah, you
old
do
are you?
too. Please don't even. Does that now? Here's what I want to ask, without really giving too much away about how you feel till the end. When we get to the part of the episode, as we do, for those of you who are new, we walk through the vitals, then the plot, and then eventually we try to land on whether this movie is bad, or good bad, or somewhere in between. And but I want to know if you guys have any history with this movie. Had any of you ever seen this before?
No.
No,
I
first
didn't
time?
even know it existed.
Oh, okay.
I'm dead serious. Had no clue this even existed.
Wow. So this came out right when you were in high school.
Yeah, still
No
nothing.
idea.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm with Joe on this one. Like, legitimately, I'm like, oh, a Van Damme movie that I've never heard about it. This is prime for a bad movie that's gonna rule.
Nice.
We'll talk about that at the end.
All right. Ryan, how about you?
I've saw several Van Damme movies and, as growing up in high school, whatever, never heard of this one. First time seeing or even hearing about this one.
It's interesting. This had a theatrical release in the States,
20 some odd million.
and then nobody ever heard of it. I mean, I saw it, not when it came out. I didn't catch it in the theaters, but I remember renting it because at the time, anything that had his name on it, I was renting it and watching. And so I've seen this one other time. This is my second time ever seeing it. I barely remembered any of it, but it's interesting to me that just for some reason, no one ever heard about this movie when it happened. Well, let's dive
we
into
must
the
have thought
vitals.
it was another Van Damme movie when we watched the trailer on TV.
Yeah, maybe it
It
was.
could have
Like,
been.
Like, I saw that one already.
I was gonna say
Didn't
it
pay-
looked similar.
Didn't pay any attention to the name. Maybe
No.
you thought it was some other
what's that, Van
Dungeons
Damme
and
kicking
Dragons
somebody in
thing?
the face? I've seen that movie.
Well, yeah.
It's basically
Kicking that particular guy in the face. I've seen that movie.
yeah. I thought it was just another rerun of Bloodsport.
Well, in many ways it was.
We'll get into that too.
I literally at one point texted James like, "Holy crap! Does this turn into Lionheart 2?"
Yeah, I think it kind of was in a way. It's all of those things. The movie, this is the big piece of news here, is it was directed by Jean Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never had directed a movie before either.
How come he's so much better at it than all these other idiots who try?
Well, he was. There was lots of shots where I'm like, really, that's what you went with?
Sure.
Again, like we said with Stephen King, spent a lot of times around movie sets. Doesn't mean you can
know how
do
to
the
direct.
job.
Yeah.
Just because
Right.
you're good at one thing doesn't mean you're
Right.
good at the
No.
other thing that goes along with it.
What he probably did is he watched a lot of directors walk around pointing at people and going, you go here, you
Yeah.
do this. And he's like, I could do that.
I could do that.
I want that. I really want that chair.
just because I can, I'm
chair looks
ripped and I
comfy.
can do the splits. Doesn't
That's
mean
right.
you can do directing.
I just picture him doing splits between two camera cranes as it's coming down, as they're swooping down. Sorry.
What was the company that was it? Universal? Or something?
Yeah, he had a 5-picture deal with them in the 90s.
Yeah, this is Universal.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised to see that come up.
Yeah.
Well,
As a bad movies rule subject.
this
you
is
know?
96 is right as he's about to fall into video straight to DVD
I see
kind of
why.
hell for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
In the early 90s, there's a reason Universal signed him to a 5-picture deal.
Sure,
He was
yeah,
making bank for people at the
Yep.
box
Yeah.
office. This kind of this and like Knockoff was a couple of years after this, and it just started all kind of to go down.
This almost feels like Jean Claude. He made so much money for Universal. And they're like, all right, we'll just throw you a bone.
Yeah, you get to direct.
You get the direct one. it's gonna be bad, but
Yeah.
we owe you this one.
Sure, we can give you a vanity project. I mean, Costner gets all kinds of them, so.
Exactly.
Well, I'd say there's a little bit of a difference between Costner's vanity projects like Waterworld and The Postman.
No, there certainly is. I'm not saying there was not a
I
difference.
got questions.
So this movie was also written by Jean Claude Van Damme and Frank Dukes, the guy he played in Bloodsport. So he played Frank Dukes in Bloodsport.
Wait. So his fictional character wrote this?
That was a real guy he played in Bloodsport. People have questions to his legitimacy of his claims of things like kumites and whatnot, but that was based off of a supposed true story.
Okay.
Frank Dukes, supposedly a real martial artist.
Sure.
And him and Van Damme co-wrote this together, but he actually had to sue Van Damme to get the writing credit
Right.
because originally he wasn't going to get it at all.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's nowhere for John to hide on this one. He directed it, he wrote it, he starred in it.
Yep.
It also
Hide from
starred.
what?
What's that?
Hide from what?
Well,
This
I'm
is
not saying to
awesome.
hide. I'm just when
Right here.
you
Right here.
when the credits
Shows-
roll and it's like Bugs Bunny first base,
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny second base, like good or
Yes.
not or
Yeah.
bad, it's your name's on it, man. Like
Yep.
that's nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide.
That's
Okay.
it. That's all I mean by that. Movie also starred James Bond, aka Roger Moore.
I loved his character introduction.
You caught that?
You mean
too?
the
It
Bond
was
reference?
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
James Remar and Jack McGee are also in this movie. Jack McGee, I always remember, is the guy from Scrooged that was talking about the dancer's nipples. I don't know if you ever saw. Did you ever see Scrooged
Yeah.
with Bill Murray? It was like the modern take on Scrooge.
It's been a while.
And the
Been a while.
TV
Yeah,
censors
definitely.
didn't want to let the dancers on TV because she's like, frankly, you can see their nipples and like the very tip top. And the guy, the construction worker guys that are like walking around with 2x4s and stuff, is one of them is Jack McGee, and he's like, you can barely see him. He's like, right, and these guys are really looking.
yeah.
And that's the only thing he had one line in that movie. That's Harry Smith from this one. All right, we just spent 2 minutes talking about nipples. Let's keep
All right.
going.
Yes.
The budget on this movie was $35 million, which for us, that's a lot for the movies we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's an expensive movie.
When you look at how much, like different place they went to and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that, it's it's expensive to go out and get a full crew in shots on
Yeah.
that stuff on
you
the
know
water.
how much
And
elephants
they're-
cost?
Elephants.
Right. Elephants, man.
No, trained elephants.
Yeah.
3 of them.
And they're on location.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, not
For this
probably
whole
in
time.
Tibet, but in
Yeah.
Thailand or wherever it was they shot. Yeah.
Kicking dudes in the face is free.
That's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pay the guy to take the shot, but not $35 million.
Elephants got to eat, though.
They sure do.
They eat a lot.
The movie made $57.5 million, which isn't enough to turn a profit, but with DVD and rentals, maybe it did. The reason the box office is not the reason it's on this show. It did okay.
It got $16 last night.
That's right.
From us guys.
Yeah.
True.
The reason it's on this show is across the board, it's not liked. So it's at a 5.5 on IMDb. It's a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, so 85% of the critics didn't like it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it got a 36% audience score, so 2/3 of the audience didn't like it. So
Yep.
everybody, audience, critics have all kind of said, for the majority, it's a bad movie.
And the Voodoo ratings were even lower than that.
Were they really?
It was like a 4 or something on Voodoo with like an 11%
Okay.
Rotten Tomato equivalent. So,
Jeez.
yeah,
My goodness.
not good.
Well, that it's not good. But you know who is good? I'm talking about a guy named Adam Lofton. This guy's good.
Who is he?
He just joined our Patreon, man.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
I've
We've
heard,
heard-
stories
we've heard
of this
tales
guy.
of this
yeah,
guy.
tales.
So
Grand tales.
The quest is actually based off of his life.
True.
Is it?
Is that true?
It is true.
He's got a golden dragon?
Well, the story is
He saved the lives. so
he
didn't
saved
take
the
it.
lives, but they actually gave him the golden dragon
Yeah.
after because of just of how handsome he was.
It's true.
Okay.
They're like, you know what? I like the cut of his jib. You get to have it, even though we agreed you're not going to get it.
Right.
That's the kind of dude Adam Lofton is, and he's a Patreon member here
That's fantastic. Even
at
both
Bad
ways.
Movies Rule. So what a dude!
At least he
Appreciate
got
you.
a golden dragon because he's not going to get one from being a Patreon. That's right.
We're not handing those out, unfortunately. Maybe someday.
Short on golden
Golden
dragons.
dragon coffee mug, maybe.
Well,
We
actually,
could do that, yeah.
I
There
do
you
have
go.
a little mold of a
Oh, do you?
silicone mold of a dragon that looks very, very similar.
Oh,
if I didn't watch this movie so late, I may have
have
brought
gotten one?
I brought some of those here.
I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure that was a plaster mold in the movie too. Just a big one.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't solid gold.
Right.
Guys, thank you for listening. If you're on the podcast apps, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, please drop us a 5-star review. It helps us get pushed out. You know, Spotify, other places will start going, hey, if you like this, check out Bad Movies Rule, because we've got a good rating. So we appreciate you guys that have done that. If you're watching us on YouTube, what's a big help to us is whether you like, subscribe, share. Really, the big thing is post it on your social media account, right? If you've been listening, you like it, share us on your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever you're using. Just really help. Word of mouth, honestly, from the people that are already listening and like it, like you guys, you're awesome. Word of mouth from you guys is going to be the biggest thing for us. So that'd be a big help to the show. We really appreciate you guys being here and being along for the ride. If you want to get in touch with the show, the best way to do that is through email. That's thisshowIstrash@gmail.com. All one word, thisshowIstrash@gmail.com. We generally answer all the email, or you can be featured on a mailbag episode. And then if you want to be like Adam Lofton, you can join our Patreon for as little as $3 a month. You can have access to bonus episodes. You can vote on future episodes. You can see behind the scenes content, all kinds of stuff. So thank you guys for listening.
I prefer watching the shows on YouTube. Actually.
Oh, okay.
That's my preferred method of catching up on the episodes that I'm not on.
The video product is definitely still a work in progress.
It's not.
So,
it's good, but I enjoy it just because you get to see some of the emotions, some of the physical,
For sure. But we have plans. It will get better.
story of this.
Flying
Yes.
flip-flops. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will get better. But we appreciate that you're here. You guys ready to dive into this movie?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like Van Damme, I'm all lubed up and
Yeah.
got
and,
I'm all stretched out and
and you're 90 years old.
Ready to get in the...
I'm ready to sell it.
I was like that too, ready to roll. I did not expect the beginning of this movie to be like old ass Van Damme
I loved it.
hobbling in on a cane.
That was fantastic.
Was it?
It was so
Get the old dude
I
kicking
was
some
like,
butt.
I was like,
It's like
all
when you
let's
see
this
Yoda.
old dude's going to take care of something here because he's not just walking into this bar.
It's like when you see Yoda just like flip out and go crazy, and then it's like back to the hobbly cane, you know?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
okay. So I got a lot of notes here, and I'm going to try to fit them in here, but I got a lot of questions.
Please.
So basically, this movie starts off. Like I said, so it's an old man walks into a bar. It's not a joke.
No, it's literally.
No, that actually happened.
I noticed like the bartender was like really happy to see him. Like I've never like he was like
He was the only one
was
there. It
so-
looked like anyone.
That was
was
a dead ass bar. I mean,
It was like, there was nobody in there, but he was just like, "Welcome," you know. And it's like this angelic music is playing in the background. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
all this stuff. You know, these three guys come in, all cliche, get their butts kicked by this old guy. You know, all they let me tell you a story. I thought I was watching a live action version of Kung Fu Panda. Like the way they had it was so over the top, and it was so like.
Right.
You know, that's what this whole
guy-
thing felt like.
That guy wasn't even an actor. He was just actually there at a bar, and they walked in and said, "Hey, would you mind, since nothing's going on anyway?
Yeah.
We kicked the crap out of a couple of street thugs here." It's like,
You thought that
absolutely.
was cliche when those three guys walked in. I said I never could have expected this. to
Never,
happen.
never.
Never in a single movie. Every time, we talk about this at Hard to Kill. Every time an action hero walks into a bar or a gas station,
Yes.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
armed robbers are coming in behind him.
Yep.
Every single. It's actually the worst thing that could happen to your business is to have Van Damme or Seagal or somebody
Yeah.
walk in.
Instead of
Right.
Guy Fieri coming in,
Yeah.
saving the restaurant, saving the pub on, diners, drivers, and dives. Nope. You get robbers.
Right.
We're gonna screw up 3 tables and 4 chairs right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Listen, the score, you're right. The music doesn't do him any favors in this whole movie.
No.
And especially like after he sees him beat up all these guys, it cuts to the bartender who's like missing the cup with his pour.
Yeah.
But then the music swells like a romance novel. It's like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I was expecting Fabio to come out here and
Yeah, it was like, okay. That, and I guess I won't harp on this too much. The dialogue in this movie.
Oh, geez.
what dialogue?
There was dialogue.
There wasn't a single memorable piece of dialogue in the entire
No.
movie. And you could tell the two guys that are adept at kicking each other in the face are the ones that wrote the dialogue for this movie.
There's some yeah. I
Because
agree.
literally they come in, he's like, oh man, things sure have changed around here. Things change. Like this is like the whole, that's the whole movie
Yeah.
is stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, there's memorable dialogue for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not one like, oh man, I'll remember that quote for the rest of my life.
Right.
I couldn't do a top 5 quotes on this movie if I wanted to.
No, and this
I
would
got
have
one.
been ripe for some good one-liners too, and there just
Anything.
wasn't any.
Not one. Because martial artists wrote the script. That's why.
Yeah,
It said,
no.
get writers to write the script, Jean Claude, and you just kick the people in the face.
He's gonna pay us.
Because it's not. It's like
All right.
the only thing.
Why do you
they
have
wrote was-
$10? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they had to write.
Why do you have $10 out?
I got $10. It's on the table.
Okay.
I got a big question.
Yes.
If anybody can answer this question legitimately,
Oh.
you
Okay.
can have $10.
Clint, you're out.
I was gonna have an answer. He didn't say it had to be the correct answer. I was gonna have an answer.
What was the purpose of the tournament?
To give away a golden dragon.
Golden dragon.
Exactly.
Give away a golden dragon.
Why?
Because they had an extra golden dragon.
They wanted to
Because-
make a golden dragon.
They wanted to know who the greatest fighter in the world was.
Right.
Who?
The monks, the Tibetan monks.
What? Exactly. Exactly. This is the big point. I'm sorry.
No, there is no. They
This is
don't
the
provide.
big point of this whole movie where I
Yes.
think it failed immediately.
Yes.
Because I was waiting for the payoff.
Yeah.
Waiting, just like, okay.
Just like we
why?
are. We all answered.
Why we? No,
We're waiting
there was
for the
no answer.
payoff.
I keep
Tear that in
Three
half.
of those
ways.
out.
No, look, this is why you can tell writers didn't write the movie.
Exactly.
Is because they didn't put anything
I just
underneath.
proved my point.
They didn't finish any story.
They didn't finish anything. Yeah.
They didn't. There wasn't any development of anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was, here's this guy, here's that guy, here's your scroll. Show up here.
Yeah. And as we get
I
there
have
later.
a way to explain that, but it's all the way at the end.
All right, we'll get there because I have another example towards the end of the biggest failure that the writers had in the entire thing, but I want to talk about it till later. But yeah, it was bad. So but you're right. The whole scene in the bar is a setup. Old man Van Damme with his cane whips these 3 dudes that walk in and want to rob an empty bar.
Yep.
And
There wasn't going to be any money in that till.
it's the
Yeah.
1920s,
Who
I
robs-
think.
Who robs a bar? No, not
Well,
at this
not-
point.
not at that
the
point.
bar.
No, but like when he flashes
he
back.
Oh, he flashes back
yeah.
to 25.
1925, yeah.
But yeah, who's going to rob a bar at like 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning?
I know, that's what it
There's
seemed
a lot of
like.
money here.
These guys are asleep till 3 in the afternoon for sure.
Right.
So the first thing we see once it flashes back to 1925, because the guy says to him, "Where'd you learn to fight?" It does so long ago. I don't know what that voice was Van Damme was doing when he was old.
It's
but
his
it
old
was
man
weird.
voice.
It was
It's
bad.
a random old man guy voice.
It starts with these, as Joe kind of alluded to, these Tibetan monks are going around the world passing out these scrolls,
Invitations.
invitations to what they perceive to be the best fighters in the different areas. So every country is represented by one person.
Is it an invitation to the Dragon Scrolls?
Yes.
It's like the Kung Fu Panda.
Yes.
Some of both.
It looked like Dragon Scrolls.
It's just a mirror.
Well, listen, they can't rip. Hold on, they can't rip off something that came after them. If
I know,
anything,
right.
It
Kung
felt
Fu
like
Panda
I don't know how they did it, but they did. They felt like they ripped off Kung Fu Panda
Before it existed?
Before it existed.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can see that.
They go around to all these different warriors, and every single one of these warriors is like, oh, And they
in
take
the middle
it
of a
willingly.
fight too.
Yeah, they're in the middle of
right.
a fight somewhere. They take it willingly, like, oh yes,
And
oh,
it's
yeah.
like they
When
know
we
what it
get
is.
To
Right.
America, it's like, what the f is this?
Maxie,
It's like, that's America, guys.
Maxie Divine.
Maxie Divine, who's the heavyweight champion of the world. He's a boxer. He's hitting a heavy bag when the guy hands him the scroll, and he's like, "What? What is this? Come get a load of this crap!" Like to his buddies and stuff.
At that point in time, I thought they were going to explain what this is and why
Right.
this is.
And why it was important.
Did they?
And
No.
scene.
No.
Nope.
And
And Maxie Divine,
That's it.
Maxie Divine is played by James Remar, who I love. When I saw he was in this movie, I was like, yes, let's go. Love that guy. And kind of it goes around, there's the dude from France and all these different countries, and they're just basically handing out all of these scrolls. The thing that stresses me out about these scrolls is if it was me, I'd be like, more information, please.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When? Where? I mean, there's an X
There's a
on a
map.
map.
Yeah, that's where.
But there's no when.
Nope.
That's true. I don't know. You
Like,
just have to you get there as soon as possible.
Fight when you get there.
Right.
Yep.
When everybody gets there, we'll start.
I'd be like, can I get an address or something I can put in
BYOB.
Google Maps or something?
Do I have to bring my own? Like, what's going on?
RSVP by when?
Yeah.
Something. Just nothing. It was like written in like sans serif font,
Yeah.
and just a map with an X on here.
Yeah.
Come to the fight. With not even really a compelling reason on there as to why. I don't even think it mentioned the Golden Dragon in the invitation.
They were probably still, okay, what are we going to offer up for this?
They were waiting for
award
donations from sponsors.
They were working on that. Yeah.
We've got some right
TBD, prize TBD.
Turn it over. It's got
Golden
like, it's got
Dragon
like
tournament.
Budweiser, Red Bull, Nike
Yes.
on the back. All
Yes, that'd be
sponsored.
perfect. It's not what happened though.
No.
All right, so then we cut to the longest story of the life of Chris Dubois. Why are you so excited
Because
about
I
this?
knew this. I love thinking about how things happened before they happened.
Yes.
I could just see Jean Claude Van Damme sitting there, go, "All right, this is my backstory. Get this, guys. This is going to be like, this is going to knock them. This is
right.
Oscar-worthy stuff.
That's right.
What am I? I am a stilt-walking, juggling Robin Hood clown that is the ringleader of a misfit band of orphans." Sold.
Yes. Everything you said was accurate.
After that scene.
Oh my God.
He fought for the stilts.
He
fought
fought
for the stilts.
I don't
He's like,
understand
I have not-
any of
somebody with
this.
it.
I have not done a backflip off of stilts and kicked two dudes in the
I
face.
have never
right.
roundhouse kicked somebody in the face with a stilt.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he's sitting there and he's on the side of the street and they got this mob boss, Riggy, that comes up to talk to him like, "Hey, man, you should be coming to work for me."
Yeah, I think some kind of like mob boss or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he's a mob boss.
He's the mob guy for the neighborhood. And Chris is like, "I don't work for nobody." Okay. And he blows him off. But this whole time he's actually setting up
That guy.
to rob that mob boss because he's going to cause a scene with the police.
Yeah.
And then his homeless kids that work for him.
His orphans, yeah.
His orphans will go in there and take the suitcase full of money, basically. What I don't understand is how he planned that the cops were going to come
and hustle him.
him.
Yeah.
Well, they knew that the cops were on to them. They're kids. Like, if you look at this, I watched it twice this morning.
Okay.
I actually like this one, Joe. Sorry, don't look at me like that.
I watched it twice too, but not the same day.
I watched it like back to back.
I had to rewind it just to try to understand it. So I guess that's
Well,
Don't watch the movie
kind of
backwards.
similar.
Don't watch the movie backwards and it'll be a lot
But
easier.
these kids are beggars. This guy, he's out street performing and stuff. So they just want him off the street in general.
But why? What law is he breaking by juggling in the
yeah.
street?
And everybody seems to know him.
yeah.
Is it one of those?
Like he's a well-known,
right.
well-known
Street performer.
stilt-walking juggler, Robin Hood clown. That's the ringleader of a misfit band of orphans.
And so the cops are
Everybody
like,
everybody knows him.
get out of here! Stop juggling!
Well,
Yeah,
no,
you
and it's
juggler.
like, were 1920s cops all Irish?
Yeah, they have to be. It's
I
Is
think
that
it's
the
in
rule?
New York.
It's
yeah.
movie
New
law.
York,
That's movie
nonetheless.
law.
It's movie law.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's
I'm like, every cop's Irish.
Maybe they were enforcing one of those. See those weird laws? Like, did you know in New York it's illegal to juggle on stilts in the street? That could be
Yeah.
one of those weird
wild dressed as a
while
clown.
dressed
All
as a
dressed as a
clown.
mime. Yeah, clown. Yeah.
Got it.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
what
what
was
it is.
happening. And so
I got. This is the most
the
ridiculous
cops,
movie ever.
the cops chase him away. Basically, he creates a scene. His kids rob the mob guy. They get back to their I don't know, homeless shelter.
Their base of operation.
Base of operation.
They put together
Like
a bunch
under
of
a dock.
crates. and-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like under a dock somewhere.
They're a crime syndicate. That's
Basically,
what they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And John Claude is like, hey, we really scored on this one, and
Go get us
kids,
some real food.
we're never gonna, anything we want, we take it now for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a great lesson for
Yeah.
orphans.
This guy's a thief. Here, we just stole this stuff.
Yeah.
This is going to get us respect. We can steal anything we want from
Yeah.
now on.
Yeah, we
He
have
is
so much
not-
money we can steal whatever we want.
There is
Right.
no
He's
good guy in this movie.
He's horrible.
Yeah.
And he,
Yeah, that logic checks out.
Yeah, no. I get
Okay,
that.
all right, I'm gonna jump ahead just a
but
bit.
again, hold on. Again,
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
one more
go ahead,
thing.
go ahead,
They're
Clint.
sitting here in this place,
ahead.
the same place. You know you just robbed this guy who knows you, knows who you are, knows where you are.
Yeah.
And you stay there. All right, carry on.
yeah.
Right, and they all go to sleep.
Yeah, we're just going to go to bed.
take a nap now.
That's fine.
Here, he gives him like a 10 or whatever. Hey,
Yeah.
pick up a couple slices and then
Get some onions and some carrots.
Right. They never could expect that the car would crash through the wall with 3 Tommy guns shooting the ceiling.
I would expect that the mob
Just-
boss would come and retaliate against me at the place they know where I
Just
am.
mow down children, orphan children.
right.
Yeah, probably.
what happened.
They're mob bosses.
I don't know.
And is it a movie trope?
Nope.
Yes.
Is it a trope that all Italian mobster guys have to like curl their lips up on her? Like, I'm tired of you. Like, it's just, do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
It is.
I'm like,
Like Johnny Dangerously. a little
yeah,
bit,
like exactly.
Yeah.
His performance, the guy that played that part, his name was Louis Mandalore. He's actually gone on to do tons of other stuff.
Sure.
But it was like, the whole thing was a cliche.
But so he's not the hero,
No.
but he's trying to be some kind of Robin Hood character.
Yes.
And he has to leave because one of the kids gets shot and the police are showing up, so you have to leave. And he's like, I'll come back. And why? Why
Well,
you come back?
Police
so
are
you
still
can-
looking for him
No,
from
just,
before.
just leave.
Yeah.
Don't come back. That's what,
Like, I need to
Yeah,
come
right.
back to make sure I teach you guys how to be,
well, they're
proper
trying to say
criminals.
he's a good guy because he's robbing a bad guy.
Right.
But
Sure.
you're right in that the lesson he's teaching the kids is not a good one.
It's horrible.
It's all just a really long, overly long, stupid setup to get him on this boat.
Right.
Yeah, to fall onto a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he runs from
Yep.
the cops after they try to kill him.
Not only that,
And he-
clinging above the cops on a
Yeah.
cargo.
He's like a cargo
net,
net
yeah.
full of
Even
boxes.
my wife's like, how do they not see him up there? I'm like, plot armor.
Because they can't.
He needs to get on that boat.
The spotlights just kind of drown him out.
The spotlights in 1920 only go up so far. They don't
Yeah.
have that.
1920 cops are like dogs. They can't look up.
That's right. Don't ever look up.
Nope. They don't
So he
teach them
falls
that.
off of this thing and he lands inside, like through an opening in the top of the ship and into like the cargo hold
Yep. Yeah.
of this ship, which then he's knocked unconscious because it's quite a long fall.
Right.
Yeah.
And he
I'm like,
wakes
that's
up.
a bad place to
Wait.
sleep.
Yeah.
Before he
The
wakes
dream.
up,
Yeah.
he's got he's
Oh,
got a
gosh, Don't
flashback.
talk about these stupid flash. You mean these stupid flashbacks they went back to twice, and never ever explain or go back to ever again?
And they had no purpose, no meaning, no
there's no
nothing.
payoff.
There's none. So basically, I know I'm like taking over the
No,
show here.
it's
Can I
fine.
sit in your seat? I
Go
feel like I
ahead.
need to sit in your
Well,
seat.
you took
today.
everybody else's seat. You might as well.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the scene is he does this flashback and he looks like he's a young child sitting on a park bench with this Mary Poppins and all black looking lady.
Yes, he's like 6 years old. at this
Yeah.
time. Right.
So and she's reading some letter, basically paraphrasing, "Hey, your ma is not doing good. She's screwed. She's gonna die."
Out of money.
And all right, you just stay here, kid. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Like that
Well,
was
not only
it.
That was the start of just the weird slow-mo sequences in this movie. The
Yeah.
letter just crumpled up. It's why are you have a letter crumpled up in slow-mo?
This is
going
the first
across
time
the
he
grass?
ever
Yeah.
directed.
Well, that's
anybody.
anytime you get
Well,
somebody
nice.
that's a first timer, you think like, oh, this will be a super cool artsy
Littering.
thing to
Right.
do.
Littering
It's
is
just not.
great.
Littering's never.
I mean, it's okay for kicking dudes in the face, but it's
Sure.
a letter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a break.
They
No,
should have
I
shot
mean,
that.
honestly,
They should have shot that.
I'm gonna be
fast
back.
forward.
I'll be like in 5 minutes.
no, you're
guys.
fine. Honestly, starting with this, where he stows away on, honestly, what he finds out is the worst ship he could have stowed away on. And then what happens to him after that as we go through it, really, this is just the beginning, this flashback of showing that he's really just a guy with the worst luck in the entire world.
True.
Okay. Because the unluckiest things just continue to happen to him. And he basically wakes up on, now they're at sea at this point already, somewhere, who knows where. They've left New York. And are they pirates that are on this ship, or are they just bad dudes?
I think they're gun runners.
Because they're transporting weapons, right? And they basically enslave him.
Yeah. Move this here.
Right, they force him to work.
The entire time, just moving stuff around for no particular reason.
He basically took the pallet of stuff that was on top and moved it down, which they would have done with the crane through the whole time, I would have thought.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid.
No, it's stupid because, listen, if he wanted to, he could turn everybody on that ship into a hashtag. But so I only think is he allowed them to imprison him because he wanted to work on his tan and grow a beard.
And he didn't have any other way to operate the ship to get to someplace.
He wanted to throw his hair back out a little
He
bit.
doesn't know how to drive a boat.
Yeah, that was it.
Right? So he let them. Please, he could have deleted every single person.
I will
on that.
continue working out every day, thinking about killing you.
He could have taken his chains, wrapped them around one dude's neck, helicoptered that dude around the boat, done.
And he did.
later, once he felt like it.
Yeah.
He ends up chained to a pipe downstairs.
Yeah.
I think he thought he was going to get a shave or something. As soon as he realized the guy was going
No, they're going to take my beard?
Not my beard.
Right at that moment when the guy, the pirate guy or whoever the leader of this boat is supposedly going to try to kill Van Damme because he would not have.
Right.
Another boat attacks this boat with cannons like pirate style.
Hell yeah.
Actual pirates. And there's like naval combat that happens in this movie. That's shot terribly.
Horribly.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
This is the kind of little things I'm talking about. There's points where the guys run up and they're shooting their guns, but the muzzle of the gun is out of the frame.
Yeah.
Like little stupid things like that. It's just like, you can't frame action shots that way. And it's just that of a million different examples. But yes, that's the first one that came to my mind.
It's a bad scene.
It is bad. But James Bond, Roger Moore, is the leader of this other band of pirates that is taking over this boat.
Right.
Yep.
Essentially.
That's what it is. Okay.
Did you guys notice the horrible movie mistake that happened in the scene?
I was too focused on the trope movie.
That's okay.
The movie trope.
So listeners, go back and watch the scene where Van Damme is chained to the pipe and the pirates attack. Because if you watch it, this is the sequence of shots. Van Damme is trying to break the pipe that he's chained to.
Yep.
He pulls it down and he gets his chains free of the pipe. It cuts to the deck where these guys are fighting each other. And you see, as it pans to the right in the background, you see Van Damme in his full costume, kind of standing there with his hands on his hips on the deck.
Already up top.
Already up top.
Oh my gosh.
Then it cuts to him coming up the stairs from below deck.
I did not see that.
I didn't notice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we're
clear
going
as
back to
day.
that. We're going back to
clear
that.
as day. Standing like this.
We need, I think for our actual studio,
Yes.
we need right
To
across
just go
from
back
the
to
real camera.
a monitor.
Boom.
Yeah.
Let's go
Let's
back
go
to the
show to
instant
that.
replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back and take a look at that, guys. It'll be a little Easter egg for you to go back and watch. But it's pretty clear Lord Dobbs is not the Lord of anything, right? This guy's a fraud.
Dobbs.
Roger Moore.
Lord Dobbs.
Yeah.
No,
Can we quick hit the movie trope button?
Yeah.
first time
9mm bullets break chains.
Do they?
You can shoot the guy. The chains are right in front of your stomach.
When they seem like the thickest chains I've ever seen, too.
And you can shoot him from 30 feet away, and then the chains are free, and he's perfectly fine.
But he's Lord Dobbs.
Right. Well, Dobbs, I think, saves him because he watches
dab?
Van Damme take
I don't know.
about, just run around the ship, snapping clavicles and, doing all this Van Damme stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Snapping We're gonna let
this guy go.
I don't want to take him.
I think we can sell him.
The guys are around him.
Sell
Like,
this
I don't
guy.
know.
You're right. They actually don't let him go. They sell him into slavery.
Yes.
Which we're about to get to here in a second. They rescue him and they take him.
But not by force.
Not by force.
They
They're
make
like-
him
they
his
trick him
buddy.
into
They're like,
slavery.
got you.
Oh, we'll get you back to America. Come
There's
with
a
us.
ship coming in 2 weeks. Stay here. Bye.
They go to Muay Thai Island. Muay Thai Island.
Yep.
After that, they're going to Karate Castle and Kung Fu Lake.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
The frick kind of names these guys. We'll just call it the name of the martial art, and then that's where they live.
Yeah.
So stupid. So they bring him there, and they basically sell him to
We're gonna get calls or letters from people who actually live on Muay Thai Island.
Baldy McWeaselface. What was that guy's?
Yeah. No.
Baldy McWeaselface.
that's exactly
Okay,
the name.
he's the leader of Muay Thai Island, and they sell without him knowing because they go into another hut and they're like, "This guy's the best fighter ever. We'll sell him to you," and sell him into slavery basically to these fighters. telling him, "Oh well, see you later, dude. A ship to America's coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks.
You'll be good to go."
Yeah. What is
And,
he forced to do?
Well, he's like Cinderella again. Move this
heavy
here.
shit.
Move this here. Yeah, exactly.
Move that there.
He's just
He's a
moving sacks
forklift.
around.
Which is
He's a 1925
Again.
forklift. That's this guy's job.
He's all bragging that he's forklift certified. Hey, baby, I'm forklift certified.
Van Damme needed to get his workout in while he
Well,
was.
that's just the thing. He could be the mayor of Muay Thai Island tomorrow if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
he's just walking around hauling bags.
letting dudes kick him in the knees from back of the knees.
Right.
Okay, so this comes back to some of the beginning stuff
Yes.
for the kids. Initially, I thought because he was praying to the statue there, and he's like, oh, please let me get back to the children. And I thought, okay, this is his the reason why he's doing all of this. That stops right then and there. You never hear
Yes.
the children.
No,
I don't. Maybe once they mentioned
Right
it,
at
but
the end.
He doesn't he pray to the
Yeah.
statue
Tie guy.
while he's
Yeah.
being Cinderella? He prays to the statue or whatever.
Yeah.
Send my fairy godmother.
Kind of what it is.
But they never pay it off.
No.
He never. It's not like he. I guess in the end they can say, "Oh yeah, he goes back to New York and his kids are fine."
Yeah.
But you think that would be his main motivation? No. That's just the motivation for the front half of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It changes several
Right.
times throughout the movie.
Later on,
What
he's
is-
never like, I have to get back to New York.
Yeah,
And he's
no.
like, no, you got to help me do this other thing.
Yeah.
No, it's you're right. There's no consistency in character desire, in subplot, in anything. It's all just an excuse to get to the point where we start kicking each other in the face.
Yeah.
I feel that a writer might have done a better job with
Oh,
those.
you think so? But it looks so easy, right?
Right.
Guy says this, guy kicks man in face.
That guy couldn't kick anybody in the face. He's bossing everybody around here. I could totally do that.
That's what I'm saying, man. And to prove my point, 6 months, now we cut it 6 months later.
Yeah.
Guess who's number one on Muay Thai Island?
Right.
Chris Dubois, right? He's marching him off to these fights and stuff and just deleting dudes.
6 hits. Knock that dude out.
That's what I'm saying. Well, even before we get to that, though.
Jean Claude Van Damme to kick me in the face with a roundhouse, but not 6 times. I can tell you that right now. I definitely don't want it 6 times. Just
go
once
down.
to say it happened. Like, oh, I'm dead.
You have to know after the
deletes.
first one, I don't think I'm going to win this fight.
Yeah.
Just go down. Well, okay, so before we even that fight, so we cut to Bangkok. 6 months later, we're in Bangkok. And Lord Dobbs and
Was it 6 months later? I don't even know. Did they even
yeah, it says it was 6 months later.
did it? All right.
That was a bit undone.
And Lord Dobbs and Harry are, I don't know, ding donging around Bangkok or whatever, sitting in this restaurant. And this girl walks in, and her name is Carrie Newton,
Carrie Newton.
Carrie Newton.
Miss
Harry
Newton.
Newton.
And she's a reporter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where have we seen this before?
Okay.
Dad owns the globe.
Ninja
Bloodsport.
Turtles. Oh,
The girl's a reporter that wants to see the fights.
Yeah.
right.
Sorry.
No.
What were you going to say?
Why?
Why do we meet this reporter?
Why is she there?
I know why.
There's no reason.
No, there's a reason. I know the reason.
Okay,
You're gonna
please.
love it.
That's the reason.
In about 4 minutes, she literally goes through and does her little spiel on the radio, and she hits the first trope pre-TV, where we get off of the news pertinent information that moves this forward. Like legitimately, the first
Yes.
possible use of that
Yes.
trope right there,
That's right.
1925 before television.
Before television.
She gets it off the
And they
ticker.
still do.
Off
that,
the
hey,
ticker.
this guy's going to be coming into this area right now, and that's
Yeah.
how we can get the map.
That
to
was
get to
the
where
it was
we need
the
to go. That
analog
was it.
version of that trope.
Yeah, that's the only reason she was there.
Well, they were still doing it back then.
Other than that fact, completely unnecessary.
I'm so glad that you caught that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy. All right, so go ahead.
Yes.
But yes.
That is great. That is why she was there. But
she was there
I
to invent the trope.
still
Well,
wanna
look,
say why
Someone
is she
had
there.
to. Someone had to.
Roger Moore.
Someone had. to.
Someone had to.
Roger Moore was trying to get with her. He's like 85 years old in this movie.
Of course he was.
He's like, "Don't worry, I will get her." He calls her over to the table. They start talking.
I bet you $50 I can make the most intimate of.
And she says, she's a reporter and she wants to see these fights, right? he's like, okay, he's suffering from dusty crotch, so he's like, let's go.
Those are for peasants, but all right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to help me later.
Exactly.
Sure, let's go to the fights.
I'll be your sugar daddy for the day.
And so they go, and this is where they see him. Chris comes marched out with Baldy McWeaselface, brings him out, and they're
It's
like,
in the
oh my
credits
God.
like that, actually.
That's what I said before. Just, that's what it is.
And of course, when Dobbs and Harry see him, the guy they sold into slavery 10 feet away from them, they're all like, yeah, exactly. And they try to dip. They're going to leave her there.
That was the smartest thing in the whole movie. They're like, no, we got to get the hell out of here right now.
The only guys that understood who they were dealing with.
Yeah.
Hurry up and get out before we get kicked in the face.
Yeah.
Exactly. But of course, they run into Chris on the hallway on the way out. And I'm like, okay, they're going to be murdered. Here we go.
Yep.
But he goes, you owe me. I'm like, that's generous. They owe you. They sold you into slavery. I'd say they more than owe you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But this is where 45 minutes in the movie, this is where the plot takes place. Because up to this point, nothing's leading to anything.
No.
But he says randomly, they don't even show how he found out about it. There's a tournament where they're going to give away this golden dragon.
Yeah.
I want you to buy me from Baldy McWeaselface and finance my trip to Tibet. And so then I can get there, not to compete in the fight.
No, to
but just
steal it.
to take the dragon.
Yeah.
Yes. And Dobbs is like, yeah, I'm down to steal a golden dragon. Let's go.
Is there none other stuff they can do to side hustle?
They wanted to make the most difficult theft possible.
Yeah.
And they even make note that they have no idea. I didn't think it was going to be this big. They legitimately have no idea how big this solid gold dragon could be.
No, but we're
it
gonna
could
go
be worth
halfway
about
across Asia.
$6,000 tops.
Could be halfway across Asia. Just
it
to
could
do
be a
this
little
one
shelf
thing.
model dragon. Like right
Little
here.
keepsake.
Yeah.
You know, what's that little special?
So
what's
you
that
put them on your
memories?
keychain.
Right, and it's not like you could know from last year because I'm supposing they don't just have a new golden dragon to give away every single year.
I know. You waste a lot of gold.
It's a lot.
Is it just like 24 karat gold plated? I mean, what? Come on.
But what's their brilliant plan? How are they going to get to the secret lost city to go to this tournament? What's their brilliant plan?
They got it off the ticker. They're going to have Maxie take them.
That's it. Right? The Maxie is Maxie Divine is coming into Thailand.
So they're gonna
on his way to this stupid tournament.
Yep. This American hero
Yeah.
is going to come
Heavyweight
in.
champ of the world.
Yep.
Right. He's effectively Mike Tyson
They're just
at
gonna
this
be his
point
Sherpa.
from 1925.
Yep.
Yeah, and they beat up the guys that are standing there with the sign at the airport.
You're no valet. Yeah. It's valets.
They're valets. They beat them up,
Poor
take their
guys.
clothes.
Yeah. Poor guys.
And he's like, oh, you guys are my drivers or whatever. He's like, yep, let's go. And they're going to, I don't know if their plan was to just tag along or to try and rob him at some point or what.
The people who set up this tournament hated America. They had to have, because you pick up just a straight boxer to go against this martial arts tournament. A straight up boxer's got no chance in hell.
No way.
In a real fight situation with those kind of
No.
yeah.
No.
Because even when he goes,
Yeah, he
puts up
was like the old-
the 20 style, put up your dukes. You know, like here, in a straight jab. You know, it's like a rock'em sock'em robot. That's his two moves. He's got
all
a
it
jab
is.
and an uppercut.
That's right. Yeah, and so the first place they really stop, and they're kind of making friends with Maxie Divine. And Maxie Divine is a likable guy in this movie, right?
Yeah.
So he seems like a good dude. Kind of takes to them right away, and they end up, I don't know how far on their journey they are, but they come to this like pit stop.
Yeah. This the same bar that they had robot jocks.
Yeah, that's right. That's it is.
It's the same communal bar.
It's the same place.
It's the same place.
Because all the jocks are in there, all the fighters, one at a time, are randomly showing up at this bar. And
I do not want to be that barkeep.
I was expecting Alexander to walk in.
he's nice. Maxie's a nice guy, but he's a moron.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Right? I mean, Mr. Mustache busts in the door at one point, right?
Yeah.
And he gets punched right in his face.
Yeah.
By Mr. Mustache, who's the fighter from Mongolia.
I called him Mongolian Dietrich Bader.
And because he's the biggest and the baddest, he's like, he wants the table that Dobbs and Van Damme and all these guys are sitting, and Maxie are all sitting at. And they're like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. No, I was just my nickname. My nickname for him was just Beef.
Mongolian beef. Yeah. I was thinking it too. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to pause.
I was there.
Sorry, I had to pause the show.
No,
for
it's
that
all
joke.
good. It's all good.
I was with you on that. I didn't know how to put it in.
But Maxie,
I just stopped the show for it.
I can't put this in without completely stopping the show, so I'm just going to not.
Just let Joe do it.
Joe.
Joe did it.
Maxie is basically he's tried to stand up for the tables, and we're not going to give it up, but he gets punched directly in his face and goes down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
And they essentially give up the table, right?
Do they?
Do they? I don't remember.
Can't really sit
Or
at the
does it
table
just- or does it
after
just-
No,
the
it cut-
Mongolian
it
beef
just
guy
cuts away?
No, he
Smash it in
karate
half.
chops it.
Oh,
in half.
that's right. He
Yeah, slow-mo Hulk smash of the table, and that was it.
Now
Then he went
nobody
to another
gets it.
table.
Yeah, if I can't have it, nobody can.
did he need that
was
entire
peppered.
table for himself? Oh, and his mustache.
He's huge.
His mustache
Yeah,
is
the
pretty
mustache.
It's
wide.
humongous, dude. It was huge. It was unseasonably large.
I just imagine a
Run
bar.
wild in that bar.
I just imagine a bar like this has an entire cabinet shop out back, just cranking out tables and chairs.
It has to. You
Just
have
to
to.
stay
The
in
carpenters
business.
of that town was making making a mint.
So the next day, Chris is out there, like, I don't know, standing by a horse post, and Maxie comes out and he's like, "You're no valet. You think I'm an idiot? Let's fight right now." Like,
Yeah,
this is the
that makes
dumbest
you an
reason to
idiot.
fight of all time. Yeah.
Let's fight.
It's like the writers going, they have to be mad at each other now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stop mucking that horse stall and fight me.
That's right.
Yeah. And he takes 2 shots and he's like, you're better.
Yeah.
You're better than me.
That's exactly what happens.
I'm
He
going
gets
to ride off to the
punched.
sunset
So
with no provisions. In
In the desert.
the desert.
he
Sorry.
gets punched once by Mr. Mustache, once by Van Damme, and quits.
Quits. That's it. He's done.
2 shots to the face.
No, he got 2. I think Van Damme gave
One
him
to the
2.
leg.
Yeah.
One to the face.
Yeah.
Doesn't let it. Yeah.
and that's it. He's just done. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. He
Yeah,
got punched in
well,
the face twice.
Well, I mean,
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I saw his
American.
technique.
That checks out.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot technique from the 20s ain't going to do.
he's a quitter, dude. Straight up, just quitter.
So now their new plan is to go to the tournament and have Chris pose as Maxie Divine
Yeah.
because he
gave
as
him
he
the
quits,
scroll.
he throws him like, "This is what you
what you
want."
want?
Throws him the scroll,
Yeah, here's the Dragon School. Take it.
and so he's going to be Maxie.
Doesn't say
Divine.
what date to show up, but here.
This
You figure it out.
this is my favorite thing that happens in the entire movie.
Okay.
Okay. When he gets to the Lost City and they announce all the fighters and they announce him as Maxie Divine, and then the real Maxie walks in the front door. That's me. Like, I am Spartacus. First of all, how do you get in without a scroll? That's the question that we don't need to answer. But
He had memorized the map.
the dumbest and best part is this guy handing over his championship belt to Chris. He walks in with the belt and he's like, "I was the champion, but he punched me in the face twice, and I didn't like it. And now he's the champion."
Do you think he went all the way home to get that?
That's exactly
He
where
had
he
to
went.
go all the way
But
back to New York
I
to pick up his belt.
It's like, this is the dumbest thing that's happened in this entire movie.
It could have been dumber.
How?
Having the American fighter have a French accent.
That's right. I am Chris Dubois.
When they had a
from
French fighter
America.
there.
That's right.
That's not,
They
When
actually had a French fighter.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
But, I mean, just the fact that this guy got punched in the face twice, and he's like, "I know a champion when I see one."
Yeah.
And now you're the heavyweight champion of the world. That's
I don't think that's how it works.
so
did a
stupid.
hand wave and that was it. He was done.
Yeah.
He punched me in the face, and I didn't like it. And then he gives this stupid speech. He says, "The second you punched me, I knew you were a champion, and I wanted to see an American flag waving over this thing. You're going to win this whole thing."
Yeah.
Like, Maxie, what the hell is the matter with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get punched in the
Patriotic,
face
if nothing
too.
else.
He's been punched in the head.
You know,
too
after
many
getting
times.
punched in the face twice, this is the guy that's going to win?
Yep.
I mean, you don't know how many punches to the face you can take before you go like completely
That's
punch
true.
drunk.
He's
So maybe that was the punch that.
What's funny is as he's explaining, as Maxie's explaining this to everybody, all the fighters, and them, they all look really confused. And I'm like, it's because they don't speak English. That's why.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if they showed a training montage where he taught him how to box,
That would've
and
been
then Van
perfect.
Damme went out with the stupid
With this?
boxing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody knows what the hell. This guy's giving a speech about America, and everyone's like, what? What is he saying?
Huh? What?
Which is
Looking
it this
at their
guy or is it
translators.
this guy? Looking at their translators. All right, we're finally there, guys. Let's get to the fights.
So the head guy
40
is like,
minutes
fine.
Yeah.
We'll let you do this But if the guy doesn't win in the first round,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Cameron punchy face, you have to stay.
Maxie's going to be forced to stay there forever because he gave a spot to somebody else.
What he's going to do there?
He's going to carry bags like they made Van Damme do.
He's going to make new God. You saw him at the beginning. He's going to make a new friggin' dragon out of gold.
That's right.
That takes a lot of manpower.
Somebody
to
has
throw
to do
coal.
that.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
That's the price. If you want to switch to another guy, if he loses in the first round, you're a slave there forever.
Yeah, you become
But
the human
did
forklift.
anybody watching this movie think, was there any tension built by that at all?
No.
You think Van
No.
Damme's not going to win the first
He
fight in
should
the
have gone up
tournament?
against. He should have gone up against Mongolian beef first round.
I mean, maybe
and then been a walkthrough.
Maybe what you should say, if you want to build tension as a writer, even though we all know Van Damme's going to win the whole thing because it's
Yeah,
a Van Damme
yeah,
movie,
exactly.
is to say he's got to win
wrote
the
it.
entire tournament,
Right.
or he's got to stay there forever.
Yeah.
That would actually build some drama and some tension.
Well,
They had
especially
to
when
hold
they tell
that
him
back.
to go down.
they had to hold it back
They had
for
to
their
hold it
other
back.
stupid reason.
Yep.
All right, let's get to these fights because these are freaking
All
hysterical.
right, so
Who was first?
Vega and Zangief was that first?
Oh, you mean the Spanish cliche?
Oh yeah, and the Russian cliche.
The
They went-
flamenco dancer.
They meant with every single possible stereotype for a fighter from a country
Yes.
that could
Yes.
have been.
Well, Russia
bad.
versus Antonio Banderas' cousin, or some was like he looked like when it was
Vega,
far away. I was
yeah.
like, did they get Antonio Banderas for this movie?
It's Vega and Zangief.
And they came and the dude had these flat ears. It was awesome. It was Vega and Zangief.
Yep.
If this was Street Fighter,
Yeah.
But this is 2 years after Street Fighter. So he even fought in his blue Colonel Guile tank top for part of this movie.
He ripped it off.
He straight up was like, "I'll just wear my shirt from Street Fighter."
I like the flying elbow of the Russian that just missed, just elbow
Yes.
drop. Boom.
Yes, but the Spanish guy, I was surprised Russia lost in the first
Well, you
match.
know, with the
I
Russian,
felt like he was probably favored there if you looked
well,
at the
the
two.
Russian guy just stood there like Chris Rock at the Oscars, getting slapped by Will Smith.
Too soon?
Did you see that?
Too-
Is it too soon? He's just like,
Did I see it? Come on.
Yeah, man. So overall, when they walked up there, who did you think was going to win?
Yes.
the Russian guy.
I thought the Russian guy was
Yeah,
gonna
for
win.
sure.
Yeah.
Not
I
the
thought so.
dancer.
Yeah.
All right, then Japan fights Okinawa, and this sumo, and it has his fat kids there with him.
I called that dude E Honda.
It was.
And this dude from Okinawa takes one look at him, and the look on his face is like, "F this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this."
The guy's like pats him on the back. You can.
It's fine.
You can do it.
What'd you guys think of the sumo guy? I liked him.
I liked it. Yeah.
The first when they handed him the scroll in the beginning, he was like, "Grr," like, and he got up out of his hot tub or whatever.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I expected him to go back. Punched right in
King
the
Hippo?
face.
King Hippo?
King
Yeah,
Hippo.
for sure.
I like how they portrayed him as this great warrior from Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, what's his main technique? Run at a guy.
Run at a guy.
Just run at people.
Well, this is what
you know-
happened
Run
to
at you.
Okinawa.
He was in WrestleMania 7, though.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was
Is that Yokozuna?
It wasn't Yokozuna. It was another like sumo guy, but he
Oh,
was
but
at
he did?
WrestleMania 7, yeah.
really?
Dude, I saw WrestleMania 7
I did
a
too.
bunch because that was Hogan versus Slaughter.
Yeah.
Man, I have to go back and look at that
Go
again.
back and look at the tape now.
Now, this is probably going to get me in trouble.
That's exciting.
Okay. This is going to get me in trouble. But China versus Korea, I'm sorry. I know I had no idea who won. Like,
I couldn't tell the two. I was thinking, it's like the Koreans are generally the smaller of.
but
the
how do you know?
Asian,
they have these two guys,
community.
China versus Korea. One of them won, and I'm like,
No,
was it
yeah.
China or Korea? Who won? I have no idea.
It was China.
It's China.
Well, we find that out
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, it takes
but
a
I'm
while.
like, but even the second time the China guy fought, they didn't say who it was. They just showed them fighting. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're round 2. I still don't know if this is China or Korea that has made it all until the third round when he fights Van Damme and they finally say China versus USA.
Right.
I was like, oh my guys, we need some clear information here. Because at this point, I'm thinking Korea's going, wait, I mean, I think Korea probably was a 16 seed in this tournament. Big time long shot.
Right.
Yeah.
With
Right?
America.
With America. And I was surprised. They really were, it wasn't, I would not have bet on chalk in this tournament, man. A lot of the people I didn't expect were winning matches. Then we got Turkey versus Scotland.
I had a funny feeling. I didn't want it to go down like this, but I was like, he's fighting in a kilt. That's kind of rough on
I was
him.
like, as soon as they announced, I'm like, don't come out in a kilt. Don't come out in a kilt.
Oh, you knew it. And
Yeah.
pasty and red hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and then he gets just
his
dick punch.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Nut
was straight
twist.
up just
Got the old testicle twist.
The punch, twist, crunch.
Well,
you
the
know,
guy.
yeah.
Well, the problem is this guy looks like a pudgy, ginger, and this guy's like Skeletor with skin. You know
Yeah,
what I mean,
right,
right?
yeah.
He's got like muscles on his eyebrows, and this dude, I'm like, you had no chance.
They got pulled. Went over to the distillery. Yeah, you look good. Just why don't you head over to Lost City here? And it
This is the best Scotland had to fight.
was probably the most sober. I don't know.
oh, that's
Well, that's
Scotch,
probably
man.
true. It's
Scotch
true.
is good.
The next fight was Africa versus Siam. Now, Siam is the guy from Muay Thai Island. It's like was Baldy McWeaselface's like right hand dude.
yeah.
And
Which his name was Fang. I think it was like
Fan?
Fan or Fang. And
Yeah.
but we there's never really any character development. We just see him standing around during some of the older scenes where Van Damme was a slave.
Yeah.
But they never show them interacting.
No.
But then later on, we're supposed to be like they're friends or something.
yeah.
I was
And
just
the
gonna
one guy's
say,
like
how-
tearing up.
Yeah,
It's
like-
like
That
Why
was
should we
6
care
months
about this?
later, you know?
How
They didn't show the bromance.
No.
right.
there was no.
They didn't
Yeah,
sh-
because spoiler alert.
Yes.
That guy gets his back
Killed in
broken
the
by
second
Mongolian
round
beef.
by Mr. Mustache. Yeah.
And Jean Claude Van Damme, what's his character's name again?
Chris.
Chris Dubois.
takes it really hard. Him and Wheezy
Baldy McWeaselface.
Yeah, exactly, that guy.
Wheezy
And they
Baldleface.
take it really hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there was no
Right.
backstory on it, no development of
no,
why.
They
I'm
didn't
like-
show him like human forklifting together.
I was like, writers, you can't do this. You can't pluck a
Writers.
heartstring if
Writer.
Well, there's two of them. But I'm just saying you can't do that if you haven't done the work.
It's interesting that he fought so hard to get that writing credit. I know. He must have not seen the end product yet.
Nice.
Had he known, he would have kept his name off of
He would
it.
have kept his name shut. I'm not having any part of this.
Oh, and by the way, Africa is a continent, not a country.
Yeah.
Well, this
Every
is-
other person there's a country.
Yeah, I
and
know.
then
Yeah.
Africa.
I think in the 20s, Okinawa and Japan were actually the same
They were.
country as well.
That's also another yes.
Yes.
But I get that one at least. Africa was never a country.
No.
South Africa.
I will tell you this. James Remar, Maxie Divine, had some of the best unintentionally hilarious lines. Mongolia comes out, he's like eating the guy from Greece's lunch, and Maxie's like, this guy's no big deal.
NBD, man. NBD.
Yeah.
He's going to wear himself out.
He's literally like taking the guy's appendix out without a scalpel.
He's all right. Very good.
This guy's no
Very
big
good.
deal.
Yeah, don't worry about him. You got him, Chris.
I love it. I love it when German guy came up and his rally. Did you see like guys
No.
on the ground?
No.
And he's like,
Oh, this is when U.S. Chris's first fight was against a German guy.
yeah, first German, and he's on the ground. He's like, oh no, and you got the. Dang it! What's that guy from Rocky? What's the old guy from Rocky?
Mick.
Yeah,
Mickey.
He's like, Rocky, get up, Rocky. You're a bum. You think you would come? This would come from the boxer, but
Right.
his rally cry to get Chris up and fight him. New York City.
That's what I'm saying. And then he gets up.
New York. Yeah, New York. Yeah.
The place that hated your guts.
You're
Yeah.
clearly not from there originally.
You're French, but yeah, you New
That's
York.
what I'm saying. Maxie had the best unintentionally hilarious
It was
lines.
It was
It's that there's a few memorable pieces of dialogue, but they're for the wrong reasons.
bad. Yeah.
New York City, he's no big deal. So yeah, so Chris wipes the floor with Germany. U.S. beats Germany in the first round.
So I just want to quick do a sum up on everything and just kind of try to kind of bring everything.
The first
together.
round of fights.
Yeah, just get everything. Well, this whole everything up to this point.
Yeah.
Wrap it up into a smaller container. So it's like
How
Van
the
Damme.
brackets look after this.
Yeah.
My bracket is toast.
We should have paused and done a bracket. We would have all got to the end. We'd have
Well, we all would have had Van Damme.
1 and 2 correct. That was it.
Whose brackets busted after the
My
first round.
bracket
Yeah.
would not have been in good shape. Although I wouldn't have known if I was right about China.
Exactly.
Until much later.
I was like, I think I was right. I don't know.
It could have been Korea.
Sorry. We're into round 2 of the fights.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hopefully it's good.
And
I did have one issue with
Yes.
this. They go through the whole thing and then they take a break and he's
Yeah.
outside and he still hasn't fought yet. So they
No.
took a break in the middle of round 1 and then he fights and they go right into people who've already been fighting again. So like he
Yeah.
fights right at the beginning of round 2.
no,
for
I
round
know.
1.
He had a raw deal
It was an
there.
odd shot.
It was.
Like he didn't get the break time that everybody else did.
No. But so Japan is back in the big giant sumo, except this time he's fighting Superfly Jimmy Snuka, who just
I love you. I love your name.
he looks just like him.
Just like him. Yeah, it's not the same
Saying.
thing.
And Superfly Jimmy Snuka just runs into him and dies. Basically,
Yeah. Yep.
is what happened.
That was quick.
This is the Skeletor guy that just totally demolished the Scottish
And
dude.
didn't he give him the neck thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody's saying, they're supposed to be kind of like saying like this mustache dude is like the biggest, baddest.
Mongolia.
This sumo guy
That sumo
has
dude.
destroyed
Oh yeah.
2 people without blinking.
Oh yeah.
And supposedly this Mongolian guy is
The second guy, he just destroyed him like a car accident. Just Mack truck hitting a little
That was it. That was
Fiesta here. Just
That's what I'm saying, man. That was a Dale Earnhardt thing.
Tell me that dude.
he was.
Sorry. Rest in peace. Then I got on here. I go Brazil versus China / Korea 5 question marks. I
Whatever.
don't know.
And they spent half the time just doing flips and everything else.
That was fantastic.
and Remar's like,
very
on its
athletic.
own.
Now he's a monkey.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He's a snake.
He moves like an animal, like a snake. It's like, what?
I just kept
No,
waiting
he's-
for his commentary. That's all I wanted.
Now he's moving like a monkey.
He's just sitting there next to the reporter, and the whole time I'm like, I want to just be sitting next to them and hearing every stupid thing he's saying. Now he's like a tiger.
Oh, he's like a tiger now. I didn't know I had that
All right,
accent.
so Mongolia fights, like I said, JCVD's old buddy from Siam, and he's like, hit the gong, it's over, because he's holding him up over his head. The dude is
Bloodsport
killed.
all over
it's a total
again.
Bloodsport
It's
moment.
Bloodsport moment.
Except in Bloodsport, you cared
Yeah.
because they had set up that friendship.
Yeah.
And in this, they tried to do the same thing. He walked over with the piece of the clothing,
Yeah.
just like the Harley Davidson bandana.
Yeah,
Put the
wipe
blood
the
on him.
blood on him.
Yeah.
It was a complete Bloodsport ripoff.
Totally.
100%.
Like, you guys, Frank was a Bloodsport. It was about him. Van Damme was, they just ripped themselves off.
They literally ripped themselves off.
Yeah. Bad
I
stuff.
hated that part.
And I love
absolutely
Bloodsport.
Hated that part of
Yeah.
this movie because I get like ripping off another film or doing this or
Yeah.
when you
From
just rip off yourself and
Yeah.
and literally just take the same stupid thing
Right.
and just
It's like you're trying to play your greatest hits, but not
But
as
from
well.
a guy
Yeah.
who spent his entire career
hate
to this
it.
point going back to the well
Yeah.
and watching other people do it. It's like, oh, I could do this easy.
But that's like right on the nose going back to the well, right?
He'd even
Sure.
he barely changed anything. He's like, I'm going to do a rope instead of a
right.
bandana.
Right. Totally
Nobody will
different.
catch that part.
He swiped the blood on with his right hand instead of
That's right.
his
That's,
left.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
All right, so now Van Damme has to fight the guy from Mike Tyson's Punch Out with the rose in his mouth that would dance around. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And every time he'd get up, he'd do a little flamenco.
Flamenco thing, and I'm like, this is the guy. You got King Hippo in there.
Yeah.
So it's between Street Fighter characters and Mike Tyson's Punch Out characters is basically what makes up all of these dudes.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So he beats up the Spanish guy, but Dobbs wanted him to throw the fight, right? For
Yeah.
the dumbest reason ever. We need you healthy to lift this dragon out of here.
So go get your ass kicked. So
go
that we
get
can
your
stay
ass
healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
right.
not too much.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
dumb.
Just take a little bit of an ass kicking, not too much. So
Right.
make sure your back's good, to get this.
Arms and back, just protect him.
But they should have known this is a Van Damme movie. He can't lose fights,
Intentionally, especially.
especially intentionally. And so he went down for about a second and a half before he's like, get up. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to dismantle this guy. And that's what he did. Took him apart.
Look like it's plan B.
Right. Can't wait to talk about what Plan B is in a second.
What was that?
A freaking Zeppelin?
Oh,
The mini
oh my
Zeppelin.
The mini-
gosh.
The smallest Zeppelin in history.
And the thing about that, I'm like, how did they roll that thing from Germany to Tibet?
yeah.
This is why I say they ripped off Indiana
It's like
Jones.
it's like riding a Power Wheels
Zeppelin.
like
Yeah.
to Chicago.
It's like it's Hello Kitty's my first Zeppelin.
tried to make this Zeppelin look so big.
Yes.
Yeah.
They shot it as like, can you? Van Damme's like, how low can you get to the ground? to
How
make this
far
thing
away
look
can I
big?
stand?
Yeah.
Right.
How do we shoot this Zeppelin or this hot air balloon, this party balloon to make this thing look like a 200-foot air,
Yes.
air
People were inside of
gargantuan,
this.
yeah. This
No.
big Germany, Zeppelin.
It's a
I'm
little
sitting there
baby
thinking-
Zeppelin.
It's a baby
Oh,
Zeppelin.
yeah, it's for babies.
I'm sitting there thinking a helium balloon of that size got the lifting power of about 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
It's got a human in it, a basket on it, a piece of rope. That's too much already.
All right, but before we get to that,
This thing was so stupid. Van Damme, I could just see him. He's like, we need a Zeppelin. Sir, do you know how much Zeppelins cost? Like $13 million.
We'll rent one.
What else we had? Well, my cousin, he has a
tarp.
no. He's got one of those inflatable jumpy houses businesses. I think we can whip up a balloon.
That's right.
His wife can take it apart and re-sew it together in the shape of a zeppelin.
Got something left over from the parade last month.
Yeah.
And we've
This
got a
used to be SpongeBob in the parade, but now it's going to be
St. Patty's
this.
Day parade and
My goodness.
yeah.
But before Plan B is enacted, Mongolia beef has to fight the giant sumo from Japan,
Yeah.
and Van Damme was clear like we can't choreograph that many fights. There's too many fights. So this is a very short fight.
Yeah.
But why so many fat noises?
in slow motion shots of fat just jiggling
But
all
the
over.
sound effects, they're
They
over
were-
and over and
The sound
over.
effects through the whole thing were very, very. You expect to see it in an animated cartoon
Yeah. Right.
version of a.
Watch Kung Fu Panda and all the sounds that come out
Yeah.
of Po.
Yeah.
He's
You know,
like,
that's what this guy sounded like.
it's like Van Damme was like, how many fat sound effects do we have?
Use them all.
Can we use them all? Is that allowed? You do whatever you
How
want.
many fat sound
technically.
effects do you need, sir? All of them.
All of them. It's gross. And then Remar with afterwards, lucky punch.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is my favorite.
He's the best.
Lucky punch.
It's like 42 lucky punches in 7 seconds.
That's what I'm saying.
He did the whole quart of blood punch.
Quart of blood technique.
He's a quarter blood technique.
Punch guy. We can
Quarter
have
blood
later.
just
Quarter-
flapped right out of his body.
That's right. All right. So
Can we do
right
that
after
movie?
this, the USA. So Chris is now going to fight the guy from China.
Yep.
And in the middle of that fight, Dobbs and Harry are out here flying their little baby Zeppelin.
Look at this. It's a Wiener Schnitzel of a Zeppelin. It's so tiny.
And their plan is to tie a rope around this. How much would that dragon weigh if it was actually solid gold? I don't know.
Oh, a couple tons
A
at
lot.
least.
Yeah.
That's
That
big.
thing can barely keep Roger Moore off the ground.
Right. I'm saying the rope was too heavy.
Right.
If you
was
pull
so-
on the rope, that's too much.
It was such solid gold. They literally had a television show on it for the 70s. That's
There's not
It's
enough.
not a solid gold
Right.
dragon. It's like a solid gold dancer that they're stealing instead.
First of all, I'm like, this is the quietest plan you could have come up with. Let's fly.
Oh, nobody's going to hear that.
They're both shouting, and yeah, exactly. They're shouting. He tosses. He's like, "How am I going to get up there?" And he throws a ladder down to Harry, but then just takes off without him. And the golden dragon is dangling, and the
I half
guards come out.
expected him to just ride the golden dragon away
right.
into the
Right.
sunset.
But the guards come out before they can get away, and they start shooting crossbows into the Zeppelin, and
Yeah, that
it just didn't go
that
well.
didn't go
even
well.
even
No.
before that, Van Damme never finished off the China guy.
No, I think he kind
They
of
just-
gave up, didn't he? I mean,
they
Yeah,
left.
he had him, and then the alarm goes off, and then they had just have the scene there of the Chinese fighter just like face down, like he's out.
yeah. He
Like,
just
did
kind of lays
finish him
down.
off, and the
I don't
alarm
think he
went
did.
off, or-
I think he tapped.
I'm out.
tapped
Yep.
out.
Just
He
said,
just
"I'm
tapped out. He's like, no.
Because he was like hovering over him, ready to give the knockout blow.
Okay.
But he's the better guy. He wouldn't take that. You know, the fight's
Again,
over.
Rip off from
Right.
Bloodsport when the
Yes.
guy's like, say it.
No, I get it.
Yeah. So
him yield.
they're basically gonna kill Dobbs and Harry for trying to steal the dragon. The main
Yep.
Tibetan monk is like, the penalty is death, and then for no reason.
So, yeah.
no, these guys have never been cool to you,
Yeah.
nice to you, done anything but hose you, and you're gonna
Now you're going to change
Now you're
your
gonna-
motivation
Yes.
now to save these two guys.
Right.
Yeah. So just so
Half
you
the
know what we're
kids.
talking about, Van Damme says, let me fight for their life. If I win the tournament, they live, but you can keep the golden dragon.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
That's the deal he makes with the monk. And the monk's like, yeah, deal. We don't have to pay you.
Makes that deal.
The
how
very,
much
the
money this
very
thing cost us.
shallow motivation they had before was to get the golden dragon to have the money to be able to go back and take care of these kids. That was the very shallow motivation he had.
Barely.
Now it's like, nah, forget it.
But the whole
I'm
time,
going to be a good person.
but the whole
Right?
time,
I'm
Chris
gonna
has
say-
been a thief too.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the whole movie.
Right.
And these guys sold him into slavery. They've now tried to screw him over again by stealing the dragon.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why would you do anything for them?
He makes a deal with Tibetan Palpatine for the golden dragon.
Nice.
It's true.
Nice.
It's true.
Nice.
And Harry's in the jail cell going.
Dang it.
Write it down now so it looks like
Then during the last fight between Mongolian and Chris, which we're going to talk about now, Harry spends the whole time in the cell going, well, we're going to die, man. I'm like, you already were dead. At least now you've got a shot.
Right.
So shut up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bad writing.
Yeah, bad stuff. All right, so the final fight.
Yep.
Who could have expected this?
That's not me.
It ended up being Mongolia versus Chris.
USA,
I never would have thought this is how this would have ended.
Yeah.
Especially because he fought this guy in Lionheart already.
I was shocked.
How did that turn out? Which one won?
Van Damme.
Oh,
It seems like this guy
Spoiler alert
his
again?
only acting gig is to get his ass kicked by Van Damme.
I would take that.
This is the second time, so this is kind of funny. So originally, there's I think the guy's name is Michael. I'm probably getting this wrong. Michael Kissy. It's Qissi.
Abdel Kissy.
Was this guy? His brother Michael Kissy was in 2 Van Damme movies, getting his butt kicked by Van Damme. So he played one of the last guys he fought in Bloodsport, and then he was Tong Po in Kickboxer, the big giant dude that he fought at the end of Kickboxer.
Glass.
With the glass on his fist. That was the Mongolia guy's little brother. This is actually the older brother. So now his brother has also fought Van Damme in 2 movies, Lionheart and The Quest.
I was totally looking for somebody to
a
have the
very-
glass knuckles.
Yeah.
Very odd family legacy.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Their 2 brothers were the final villain or the almost final villain in 4
They got to
JCVD
team up.
movies.
They got to team up and actually finally kick Van Damme.
Yeah. That feels like
Movie 5.
Forrest
right.
Gump. You have Lieutenant Dan. Like every member of his family has
Died
fought
in
and
war.
died in
Died
each
in
war.
war, yeah.
It's like this guy's whole
son.
family is just like fought
Van
Van
Damme.
Damme and lost.
Now when it's
These
not,
guys' nephews are going to come and kick Van Damme's ass
Well, that's what I'm
in a nursing
saying.
home.
well, instead of like fake 90-year-old Van Damme, we're going to get actual 90-year-old Van Damme.
Yeah.
In a few years, a long time.
Just
I think he's in his
kicking
60s now. 30 years from now, these dudes' grandkids are going to show up and actually beat him up.
Not in a movie, just like
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well,
As long as they film it and put it on
Just-
TikTok or
as long
whatever.
as he doesn't have a cane, because they'll just take the cane
Right.
right
Yeah,
out from
you're
under
right.
him.
90-year-old Van Damme probably still beat him up. All right, so the final
my
fight.
ass.
What do you guys think of the final fight? I thought it was okay.
It was all right.
good.
Why do they have to take it outside?
Because it was like WWE, like this is going to be a backstage brawl.
Right.
Like they're going to take this one out of the
yeah.
ring. I don't know.
But there weren't any tables, there weren't any chairs getting pulled out.
There was a chicken coop.
Yeah.
Chicken
I was like,
coop.
oh, not the chickens.
Well, and he did throw him through the house. I mean,
Yeah. Thank God they had
Yeah.
all those torches to light up the area.
right.
Or else it would have been pretty dark.
Here's the one thing I've learned in these movies is you never look Van Damme in the eye.
No.
Because the first time when he just fallen out of the ring and he's on the other side and they did that close up on Van Damme's eyes where he's looking up at him and there's the fire there. And I'm like, oh, this is over. He's doing this is the classic
Yeah.
zoom in, they look at each other and now it's over. But it wasn't. And then when it happened the second time, they zoomed in even closer on Van Damme.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, they came in even closer. Now it's really over. And after that, he took him apart.
Yeah.
Don't ever look him in the eye.
No.
When they do the eye to eye shot,
It's like
He's going to
top
use
of his cheek. Like,
Yeah.
fake it.
Yeah,
But I
don't.
tell you though,
Just look at his nose.
what really won that fight was that flashback to that time when he was sitting next to Mary Poppins.
Right.
He's like, yo, your mother is dead.
Yeah.
You're done. Just roll up this piece of paper, throw it around. That is the motivation he needed.
it's it's like the anti-cyborg. They went back to that flashback 17 times in Cyborg, right? Remember that?
Right.
And in this, they only went back to it twice and resolved nothing.
Right.
Still.
Like at least go back to it a third time and show what happened. Does he,
Like after the credits.
Like,
Like, hey,
yeah.
this is what we meant to say, guys.
does he get up and walk away and now he's on his own? Or
Well,
it's
at some point.
You have to.
He had to have got up.
Yeah,
'cause
did
he's
Mary
not there
Poppins
anymore.
come back? I mean, we don't know.
It
She
should've
told
been
him
like
to stay.
Forrest
She
Gump.
told him to stay there.
Yeah.
Should have been like Forrest Gump and it finishes up with him on the same bench.
Yeah. Years later.
But I think what they're trying
would
to
have made it better. Forrest comes running up.
anyway.
I ain't got no legs.
Well, Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got any legs.
No.
Thank you, Forrest.
I think what they were trying to do when he flipped his hands, it was trying to say he switched to Muay Thai at that point, because then he started doing the elbows and knees,
Okay.
which is kind of like classic
Yeah.
Muay Thai stuff. So I think that's what they were trying to. They did a really poor job telegraphing it, but I think that's what they were trying to say at the end there. But of course, Van Damme beats him.
Yeah. Maybe in that note it says, "Teach the boy Muay Thai,"
Could
or
be.
something.
be.
I don't know. I'm reaching on that one.
Could be. Well, guys, here's the biggest writing sin. I shouldn't say the biggest, because I always say that, and then there's always like a million of them. Here is a major thing that I realized after he had kicked this guy in the face or punched him.
He used his head as a speed bag.
He used his head as a speed bag.
We did
and
get
the fight's
We
over.
did get the traditional,
Yeah,
obligatory Van Damme splits kick.
you did.
Yeah, we did get
Love
one of
that.
those.
Love those.
Which I was like, all right,
got
we're
it.
good now.
Every year he could still do it. He's 68 years old or whatever
Amazing.
he is now. He could still do it. It's nuts because he's so flexible.
Yeah. Continue, sorry.
No. It's okay. I just realized after this, they are doing the thing where they're giving the or they're all walking off together, and then he starts telling the prologue of, not the prologue, the epilogue of, this person went and did this person went and did that. And it dawned on me that ever since they were in Bangkok and left to go with Maxie Divine, that Miss Newton didn't say a freaking word for the rest of the movie. Not a single ass line of
only
dialogue.
there for the trope.
Nothing.
Of arm over the girl, walk away.
And when she walked up, I'm like, oh, she's
That's
finally
it.
going to say something. She didn't even say something then. She just literally came over and they walked. It's like she didn't have, in the last hour of the movie, she said nothing.
Yep.
They didn't think to write her a single line while they're on
Nothing.
the script. Like, should we have her say something? No, she said enough.
Yeah. These women talking.
Why is
She
she
served
here?
her purpose. She got the information.
How does that happen?
I don't think is she the only female in the entire cast?
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
one with lines other than the old woman in the flashback.
Yeah.
Oh,
Other
yeah,
than Mary
that's
Poppins.
it.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Nothing.
That's the only two women with lines.
Yes.
and her own hand closing the book at the very
Well,
end.
hold on a second. I
Yes.
got something to say on that one there. So I kind of brought it back up, but here it comes again. So Van Damme was trying to make this Bloodsport movie that was kind of like this Indiana Jones, but then at the end he's telling a little story, and then he closes the book, and the first thing he closes the book and he's like, "The Quest," and I'm like, I just thought it was Bilbo Baggins, A Hobbit's Tale.
Nice.
So I was like, it's a Lord of the Rings ripoff. I'm like, oh my god, how many things of this?
Right.
Van Damme was just blown. If you were Bob,
I was there and back
He was
again.
just coked out of his mind trying to come up with this character or this movie. I'm sorry, not as a character,
okay.
but he was just completely coked out of his mind, going, "Yeah, we're totally gonna do this."
I think they just forgot that
we
she
need a
was there.
Zeppelin.
I legitimately think
Forgot
that
that she was there.
They had to have.
Maybe
The
she
reason
had more, but
why-
it was cut out.
I don't know.
The reason why this movie doesn't make a lot of sense or anything like that is because it was the story book written by a reporter about him telling his story of. So she wasn't even there. Like legitimately the telling of this thing
Gotcha.
was through the eyes of. When you get that closing at the end, this whole thing was from the media. That's why they've been able to sensationalize tiny details and give you no information
right.
whatsoever.
You're right. And when you're right, you're right. That's true.
Clint's always right.
He's always right.
But again,
Oh, geez, here we go.
Another $10, please.
No, same $10.
Give me another
Can you
crack.
no, it's the same thing. Same question.
You got to put it on
Now,
tape.
after all that,
Yeah.
why do they need to have the fight?
So that Chris could go back to America.
No.
He needed a boat ride. It's the only way he could get a boat ride.
So that the brothers
movie
could fulfill
made
their
no
prophecy of
sense.
both being beaten up by Van Damme twice.
That's right. All right, so it's time to go to the awards, you guys. So
I'm done.
we have to give it some
I'm
awards.
done.
We're contractually obligated with the podcast police.
Show's out.
it's
they'll
getting
come in-
warm in here. I'm
They'll
getting.
come and shut us down. You can open the door. No one's up here.
I'm
so
afraid.
Just leave it
right,
open.
I'm gonna grab
Just to cool off. I always forget to hit the thermostat before I come in here.
It was at 71, so I
yeah,
didn't
it was-
change it.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
got
it
to
was
crank it
nice
down to
and
like
cool.
66 usually,
Ooh,
because
that
it gets
feels better.
hot in here.
Yeah, there you go.
All this
I think there's
sweaty
no way
men.
to let the air out is the problem.
Yeah. So The first award we give out is the Will Patton Award for Intensity, which isn't necessarily for the best actor, but the one that took it the most seriously. Who was handling their part with the most intensity, like it was the most important thing they ever did? Who you guys got?
Not me.
Mongolian beef was like hardcore gangster the whole way.
No, I
was my
went. I went with Abdel Kissi as well.
Yeah, that's who I went with. Mongolian.
Unanimous
DT
then.
All right. Yep.
All right, Abdel Kissi Khan was the actual character's name, even though we called him Mongolian
ever?
beef.
I don't even know if they ever
did.
said it.
But he will win the Will Patton, and he was intense. I thought he gave.
Yeah.
He did his job. I mean, that's all he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He was
in
totally.
there.
I bought him completely as
His
a
mustache
monster.
carried him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The mustache, the
For sure,
braid,
the braid in the back.
Everything.
showed up. Did
That was
his
on with
job
Velcro.
to-
They just Velcroed that on.
Did his job. Showed up to kick everybody's ass up till he
They had
got
a
to Van
3M.
Damme.
They had a 3M strip on the back of his head, and they just kept putting it back there.
Command strip ponytail.
All right, the next award we give out is to the worst actor. It's the Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award, which we give to the actor that displayed the range of a trash can full of dirt. Who do you guys have as your trash can full of dirt winner? There are lots of choices.
That's where I came up with my problem, is because there were so many actual choices that just like it could have been anybody. You could have put anybody there. You could have put nothing there. And
Well, do you want to save your vote and maybe be a tiebreaker if we end up
Sure.
with a tie?
Let's
Then
give it a shot.
Okay, so do you have one?
Yeah.
Who you got for me, Joe?
Jean Claude Van Damme.
How dare you?
Gasp.
Like you stated early in the show,
With Chuck Norris.
he can't hide behind anything.
Right.
I feel like his writing, his acting, and everything combined was absolutely a pile of garbage.
Here's what I'll say.
Fight me on it.
I'm not fighting you. Here's what I'll say. I think Van Damme is very charismatic, not in this movie, but in general, and although he's not a great actor, he usually can rely on his charisma to get him through. And when an actual writer writes the script, he can get away with it.
Yes.
But in this case, because he wrote it, there wasn't even any way for him to be charming.
Nope.
Because he couldn't write it for himself. So he needs somebody that's a good writer to hide his shortcomings as an actor. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Do I think he was as bad as Michael Dudikoff? No.
Oh, in this movie, yeah.
But in this movie, I was the most disappointed
I got you.
with him.
Here's where I'm on your side with that, because like legitimately, that Michael Dudikoff was bad, but somebody else wrote him apart, and he was just terrible at doing what he did.
Exactly.
Jean Claude Van Damme, on an acting standpoint, was pretty much on par with 70% of the people in this movie.
Exactly.
Like legitimately,
Yeah.
But he wrote the story, so he takes that 50% knock right there for the story being crap. And the way he framed shots and said, that's the way we want it. As a director, he takes another knock again. So you're right. I wanted to say it, but I can't.
I'll say
I gave it to Abdel Kissi, even the same guy I gave the Will Patton Award. I mean, he showed no range. I mean, he did one angry face the entire movie. He was super intense, which is why I gave him that award. But range, he was just like mad face
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah. I was between two. I was actually between Maxie Divine, just because, especially later in the movie, all his function was to yell, just get up.
New York. It's James Remar. It's James Remar.
But ultimately, after our conversation here, I'm gonna go with Carrie Newton because everything she had one function. She served her function. That function could have been.
They should have just
done
left
by
her
a
at
trash can full of dirt.
the train station.
Yeah.
No, that's the Michael Dudikoff Award. We haven't done the trash can full of dirt award.
No, that is the
That's the
trash
same
can
thing.
full of dirt. It's the same thing.
Yeah, you're right.
The Dudikoff.
Yes, we just named it. We just named it after him.
You're right.
All right, so here we have Clint. We have 3 votes, and you can break the tie. We've got Van Damme, Abdel Kissi, and what was her name? Carrie
Newton.
Oh, it's Janet Gunn.
Janet Gunn. Yeah.
Janet Gunn.
Janet
So
Gunn.
you could break the tie and give
I'm
the
also
award
gonna go
out.
with Janet Gunn, because
right.
the only actual thing she did was trope out.
Yeah.
That was it.
All right, Janet Gunn will win the Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award
And
with
she
an honorable
closed,
mention to Jean Claude Van Damme.
And she closed Bilbo's storybook.
But I can kind of like
What did
back
our
up
patron
his
say?
other one. Like
Yes.
your guy, you were
Sure.
all what the hell is his
Abdel
name?
Kissi?
No,
no, James Remar.
James Remar.
I can also say why that one is like legitimately, again, acting was on par with everybody else, but but that first thing where he goes in and everybody's like, oh yes, this honor, this honor, this honor. What the hell is that? Like, you know what? Way to make America look friggin' great right off the top, dude.
That's right, dude.
Right.
All right, so
this next was awesome.
This next list is subjective, so they don't have to have been good. It just has to be your favorite. Who were your 3 favorite performers, your top 3 performers in this movie? Do you have yours, Ryan?
Yeah, I've got mine. Okay. So I went with Roger Moore as my first. I liked Lord Dobbs.
Yeah.
I think he's a decent character. I went with Jean Claude just because he did Jean Claude things, kicking dudes in the face. And then I went with his kid, Chris Van-Damme, who was the little boy next to Mary Poppins.
That was Chris Van-Damme.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought he
sat there.
He sat there. He did well.
Yeah. I really like the way he sat on that rock. Wait,
that's right.
Did what he's told.
Different movie. Who you got for me, Clint? Top 3.
I am going to go for my number 3. I really liked the fight with the
Superfly Jimmy Snuka?
The African and the original, the African guy and was it the Spanish guy? But they entered out and they started doing all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That was very entertaining. So they're going to get my number 3 for that scene alone.
Sure.
And then I'm going to go with Bond, James Bond.
Yeah, Roger Moore.
And Jean Claude Van Damme, because I love seeing him kick people in the face.
Fair enough. Okay. Who you got?
So number 1, I'm gonna go James Bond.
Okay.
I really enjoyed him.
Yeah.
Then go James Remar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, Mr. I just threw him under the bus for.
Dude, I gave somebody my trash can before and gave them number 1 also, so don't feel bad.
So he is a trash can full of dirt for this one, but I can't not give the man the respect that he deserves.
That's right.
Jean Claude Van Damme.
That's right.
You give that man respect.
That's right.
You may not agree with him, but you respect him.
That's right. Well, for my 3, I had Roger Moore at number 3. I think it's clear, like, oh, look, a real actor. Even though the dialogue was terrible, he can still do something with it. So he classed up the joint a little bit. Jean Claude I had at number 2, which is, I think I've had him at number 1 in almost every Van Damme movie we've ever done. So that's actually a peg down for me. And I had James Remar at number 1, just partially because I love James Remar, but he made me laugh. I mean, every time he said anything, this guy's no big deal.
Yeah.
Lucky punch.
I was like, dude, I love this guy. I wanted to see Maxie fight somebody. I did. Just, he had a puncher's chance. Anyway, we have to ultimately land somewhere on this movie, whether it's, we have to look at it objectively as a movie, as a piece of film. Is it good or bad? And then what did we think about it, right? Did we like it? Did we enjoy it? Or is it just trash? So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about this film. Joe, do you want to start?
Oh, man, I don't know how to put this.
Do you need to borrow my flip?
No, I don't. I'm not. I know I'm in your
point scale.
Your seat today, but I feel like I want to score it two ways.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm starting to let this go. It's fine.
It's about time.
I'll follow it still, but I'm not going to try to do it to you guys.
I don't know if you have this one. I want to say it's a good movie that I absolutely hate.
Wait.
Whoa,
hold on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No.
You think it's objectively a good movie?
No.
That is
as
not
a film?
on the
That is not
point scale.
No.
If you're a Jean Claude Van Damme fan,
That is not on my Wheel of Fortune wheel with 16 positions that James made me for this week. That isn't even there.
Joe, how did you come back around the bend?
I did pick him up at the bar to bring him in today.
Did you? Was he was downstairs at the Runaway?
This is completely logical.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
It's only
with all
by
the
what
set
metric?
It's got a great set production, good costumes, good fighting,
Excellent writing.
How great can a movie be
director.
if the second thing you mention is the costumes?
It depends on if you're a costume designer yourself or not.
Bingo.
I love the stunt driving in movies before.
Yeah, lots of stunt driving in this one.
Not this one.
Yeah, the rickshaws were
The Zeppelins. The
Tiny
elephants.
Zeppelin.
There's the
The
baby
getaway scene
Zeppelin.
with the Eplins or elephants.
Eplins.
I'm an idiot.
Yes,
I'm
little
retarded.
tiny baby elephants.
Tiny.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Good movie that I hate.
You hate. You know what? Fine.
On the James Hauser scale, I'm going to say this is a bad movie that rules because this is a bad movie.
Thank you.
But I'm going to say on my scale, this is a bad movie that rules out loud.
Okay.
Do
you like it a lot?
I
it's
do.
basically the same
That's good.
thing. I'm saying the
Yeah.
same
No.
thing.
No, you're saying you hate it. I'm saying I like it. Those are opposite. But you're so deluded that you think it's a good movie that you're supposed to like, but
now,
you don't.
And this is a serious question, honestly, because you've kind of agreed throughout this that the writing and all this is terrible. So what is it that makes you like it out loud? That you're like, this is good out loud.
It was just plumb entertaining.
Okay.
I mean, for more than anything else, I turned it straight back on again after I watched it once. And like, I'm going to watch this through again to get a little more detail for this. Because I actually enjoyed this.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Fighting was cool.
Yeah, I went into this more
That's
open.
the only
book.
thing he knows how to shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the shots were the shots were
really
fight
good.
great. The fights were shot great.
The shots were fight great.
My goodness.
But like I went into
movie
this
that I
open
hate.
book, and I can tell you that I'm probably at age 43 with a mental age of like 17 at best, and I think
14.
a 17-year-old kid is going to enjoy this movie.
Okay.
Like for real.
All right. I don't necessarily disagree with you. Go ahead.
We were
I want my
17,
daughter,
17 when it came out.
I want to dispute the fact that you think you're a 17-year-old in your head. Like, take a few years off. You're giving yourself a little too much credit here.
All right,
There's
Mueller.
things that happen
Anyways,
behind closed doors.
So, the sequel, Fight Club, was much better. I would say definitely not by a long shot a good movie. Not a straight out bad movie either. Bad movie that rules for me. If it's on, I'll watch it again.
Okay.
So it's got it's for me. It's got to land there.
All right.
What the wheel come up with, Clint? What adder do I put on there?
Whatever you want. Yeah. We get to invent it in our mind.
All right. So this, I'm also going to say that it's a bad movie that rules. I don't even, for the first time ever, I don't know why. Because as I'm watching it, like the writing sucks. Not just people think writing just means the dialogue. Not just the dialogue, but all the other stuff you mentioned that like nothing leads to anything or pays off or makes sense or any of that. So I acknowledge all of that is stupid. But for some reason, halfway through the movie, I'm sitting here and I say this to myself in my head. I'm like, I am into this.
Yeah.
Like, why am I into this movie?
Right.
I shouldn't be.
Well, and here's the jam.
You know he's going to win, but I'm like, is he going to win?
It just touches you in a certain area.
Yeah.
You just,
Even though they didn't write it in to make me feel that emotion.
Right.
But you look at this movie and it's like, okay, it's not that great from a actual metrics standpoint, but it's entertaining. It's like the real big saving grace that it's got. It's 95 minutes long.
Yeah.
If this thing was 2 hours and 15 minutes long,
check me
with
out.
no extra information on this, we're talking about
It did move
Norris
along.
levels
It
of
did
suck.
get there.
That bumped it to me. I respected the hell out of it for only being 95
For as
minutes.
slow as it moves,
Yeah.
it's still over. Pretty,
least gets you
It
there.
gets you where you're going.
Yeah.
It does,
Especially
feel like,
after Delta Force.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as I turned that on, I was like, thank you.
I actually said that to my daughter on my way out the door. I'm walking out the door. I was like, I like this movie, but it could just be because the level of movies we've been watching is so low that this one is back into my regular. I like, okay.
Yes. Well, Bob picks?
Yeah.
Like, what would he have picked?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, since
he
Bob's
doesn't have
not
any
here.
choices.
Yeah.
Who's his babe? Bob's babe.
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
This is
There's
a Jean
only
Claude
one.
Van-Damme
I would
movie.
say
there's
Van
only
Damme
one.
would be the hot chick and the hot guy.
choices. He's got the reporter or the old lady on the bench.
I would guess Bob would
He
give
would
them
say
both.
she's too covered up. I was disappointed. This is the first Van Damme movie I've seen where he doesn't oil up his ass and get naked in the moonlight.
That's true.
Yeah.
He loves to get his pants down.
Yeah, but it was PG-13.
Yeah. No, that's true. I think Bob would have probably given both awards to Van Damme. I'm just guessing. I'm serious.
Yeah, no
I think
problem.
that's
I get
exactly
that.
what
I
he
think
would have
so.
done.
I think so. All right.
So it's fine. So here's what I was thinking about this because, we always talk about would Arnold make this movie better? And I'm thinking he already fought this dude in Lionheart. If it had been Arnold, if it had been Germany, because this is right before World War II,
Sure.
the Nazis are rising to power. You saw him coming in. If he had been the big bad and it had been a German guy and it was Schwarzenegger and the final fight would have been Arnold
And there would
Van
have been
Damme.
extra tension because they just tried to steal his damn Zeppelin.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And you get rid of all the nonsense and you give more backstory to the bad guy. I think. And then in that situation, you know why else it makes the movie better? You don't know who's going to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Is it going to be Arnold or Van
Because
Damme?
Arnold always wins.
They both always
Van
win.
Damme always. Double knockout. Double knockout, no winner, split prize.
That would have absolutely been
Cut that golden dragon in
for
half.
sure. For sure.
Long ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Who gets the left and right?
You tried to steal my Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
But he has to have the same mustache that the Mongolian guy had.
Yeah. Definitely.
And the hair.
Arnold with the hair. All right, guys. So what's funny is 2/3 of this, or 3/4 of this panel is going to be back next week, because they got Joe and Ryan both in, and we'll have Kurt joining us next week for Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is the movie we're going to be talking about. Stallone flick with Estelle Getty. That's right.
We have no Golden Girls left after Betty White passed away.
That's right.
I love it when she cleans all the gluing off of his gun.
Yeah.
That's such a good scene.
So I only saw it once a million years ago. I don't remember anything.
I haven't
Same here.
seen. I don't
None of it.
remember much either. It's been years. I used
So
to watch
That
it.
wasn't like a plot killer for you.
No,
Sorry.
no. I don't. But I'm sitting here going,
Spoilers.
I'm just nodding, going, yeah, that part was great. I don't. I have
I don't
no
know how
memory.
it got there or when it went afterwards. I remember that spot though.
But it should be interesting. Have we done any Stallone? Oh, we did Judge Dredd,
Yeah.
right?
I am the law.
I don't know if we've done one since then. So
That's still my favorite joke. With the whole voice recognition joke. Stallone and Judge Dredd.
Really.
we'll dip back into that
Advanced.
shallow pool next week. So join us next week for the Stallone Classic. And what's funny about this, well, you know what? I'll leave that till next week. You guys will have to wait to see. Thank you guys
That's called a teaser.
for listening.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll catch y'all next week.
Here, just stack this here. Put that there. Do this.
You see this pile of stuff? I want to move it right over here. Why don't you take this pile and put it right next to where it is?
Now wear these shoes. They make you look pretty like a little princess.